All right, class. Today we're going to discuss a very interesting and humorous poem titled How to Tell Wild Animals by Carolyn Wells. This poem is both fun and informative as it describes different wild animals in a unique and humorous way. It gives us clues to identify them, but in a rather dangerous way. Instead of describing them safely, the poet humorously suggests that the best way to recognize an animal is when it attacks you. Let's go stanza by stanza and break it down. Stanza 1. The Asian lion. The poet starts by saying that if you ever visit the jungles in the East, meaning Asia, you might come across a large, tawny-colored beast. This animal is an Asian lion. Now, how can you recognize it? According to the poet, if the animal roars loudly as you are dying, then congratulations, you have just met an Asian lion. The humor here is that if you wait till you are dying to identify the lion, it would be too late. Stanza 2. The Bengal tiger. Moving on, the poet now describes another powerful animal, the Bengal tiger. She says that if you see a noble wild beast with black stripes on a yellow body, you should be careful. How will you know it's a Bengal tiger? Well, if it attacks and eats you, then you've identified it correctly. Again, the humor is that the identification process happens only when you are in danger. Stanza 3. The leopard. Next we have the leopard. This animal is easy to recognize because it has a skin covered with dark spots. But there's something you should know. If a leopard jumps on you, don't even bother screaming in pain because he will just keep jumping on you again and again. The poet makes this sound funny, but in reality, leopards are extremely fast and dangerous. Stanza 4. The bear. Now let's talk about an animal that doesn't kill you immediately but rather hugs you tightly. The bear. The poet humorously says that if you meet a creature in your yard that gives you a very tight hug, then it must be a bear. And if you are still unsure, don't worry, the bear will hug you again to make sure. Of course, this is referring to the way bears attack, by using their strong paws to crush their prey. Stanza 5. The crocodile versus the hyena. Here the poet shifts from big cats and bears to two very different animals, the crocodile and the hyena. But how do we tell them apart? Simple. Hyenas always look like they are laughing. They have a sound that resembles human laughter. Crocodiles, on the other hand, appear to be crying, hence the term crocodile tears, which means fake crying. This stanza teaches us that sometimes appearances can be deceptive. Hyenas laugh, but they are dangerous, and crocodiles seem to cry, but they are deadly predators. Stanza 6. The chameleon. Finally, the poet talks about the chameleon, which is a small, airless, wingless lizard. What is special about it? Well, it has the ability to change its color and blend with its surroundings. The poet jokingly says that if you look at a tree and see nothing, then you are actually looking at a chameleon. This is a clever way of explaining how well a chameleon camouflages itself. This poem is a perfect example of humorous poetry. The poet uses irony, exaggeration, and fun rhymes to describe wild animals in a way that makes us laugh. But at the same time, she is also giving us real facts about these animals. Instead of just memorizing these descriptions, imagine yourself in the jungle. Would you really want to identify a tiger while being eaten? Of course not. That's the fun of this poem. It makes learning about animals exciting, engaging, and memorable. So next time you visit a zoo or watch an animal documentary, remember this poem and try to identify animals without getting attacked.